What is going on, everybody? Welcome into this. Actually, doesn't going to count towards our episode count, because this is just kind of an episode of John and I telling you which way everything is going. But welcome in. I'm your co-host Steve, as always. With
Why wouldn't it? Hold on, time out. Why wouldn't it count towards the episode count?
because this is just kind of like a bullshit episode.
Nah. Well, maybe, but there's still going to be banter. You can't just count it out.
It's not the normal episode. I'll say it that way.
Well, we're not. I didn't think we were doing. We're not doing characters every episode, right?
Well, you figure
We're doing.
the first one was your
episodes.
true crime. The second was the gangs. Third week was the conspiracy theory encrypted. The fourth week, which would have made the month, was our Wild West legends.
Okay. So I guess this is a bullshit episode.
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyway,
Anyway, Steve, co-host here with.
John, I introduced myself already, dickhead.
I didn't even think you did. I just thought you were like, whoa, hold up, time out, motherfucker.
I did that too.
Yeah. See. Anywho, we wanted to jump in here and let you guys know what is heading on here as you guys start to see changes with everything. Obviously, are we changing the logo? I think we're keeping it, aren't we?
The logo? No, we're changing. I'm working on trying.
Okay.
Well, I'm not gonna tell you what we're doing.
All right, so yeah, we're not gonna tell you what it's getting changed to, but the logo is getting changed. The name is getting changed as well. As we said last episode, we're really not with the no safe space anymore. We're kind of into the history stuff. So we have decided to change it to what we came up with. Two different names. One was Blue Collar History, and the other was History with the Blue Collar Boys. So
I think that one's too long. But the other one, I think, sounds like we just talk about like history
Blue
of
collar
people at
history.
work.
Yeah, we don't. That's not what we're doing. So let us know what you guys think. I do know that we had some feedback on the Ringo and Holiday episode, and it appears that Doc Holliday has taken the crown for that, as we all kind of assumed he would, because I mean, well, it's fucking Doc Holliday. But so yeah, that's where we're going with that. Obviously, you guys see which route we're going here with what we're talking about. So we're trying to get into the history of stuff that John and I like talking about. Well, that we enjoy talking about. What we like talking about is tax evasion.
Boobies. We talk about boobies.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the way we're going with it. So if you guys have any input, have anyone specific you want to hear about, any specific gangs, gangsters, anything like that, let us know. We'll definitely be happy to cover them. The same goes with Wild West Legends. Something I'm going to be doing here, since I'm in charge of the YouTube, is I'm going to be doing like 10-minute shorts, kind of, sort of. Basically just little biographies on different stuff in history. It's not going to be on anything specific. It could be, little gangsters. It could be little gangs. It could be like different battles in history, wars, stuff like that. Just pretty much different history. And that's all going to be posted on the YouTube. So if you guys aren't following that, make sure you are following that as well, as all of our stuff gets posted up onto there.
And we're trying to compete in what feels like a flooded market, because I was looking it up, and there's like, in the beginning, everybody starts out small, kind of like we are, and then once they hit a certain point, they apply to like Wondery or different podcast stuff. And I've learned that Wondery will pay you to do your podcast, but they make it to where if you want to hear certain episodes, you got to go to WonderyPlus.com and pay. They basically did the same thing as like Patreon, because now if you look on Spotify at certain episodes, not of ours, but of like bigger ones, there'll be an episode that'll be out for a week, but it'll be locked the whole time.
Yeah, so we're obviously not trying to do that. We keep saying we enjoy doing this stuff. It's stuff that we like researching. We enjoy talking about. We know. So we're not trying to make you pay for anything. Obviously, shares, views, listens, rates, all that stuff gets us up in the algorithm. So the more views and listens we have, the more we get seen, and ultimately that's how we get paid. We don't want to have to lock any episodes. We're not going to lock any episodes. I'm not anyway. Obviously the Patreon episodes, we have that. We are getting those rolling. We have yet to actually record one, but we will. Those are pretty much, I would say those are pretty much be our rants when we just want to like completely bullshit about stuff. Those will be on the Patreon because they'll be.
Well, you can do stuff on Patreon that on say YouTube would get you not so much demonetized, but like blocked, because on YouTube, if you play more than like 2 seconds of a song that you don't have copyright to, it blocks you. If you say certain things, it blocks you. That's why a lot of your favorite podcast people, the bigger ones now, you'll hear them say like Joe Rogan doesn't care, obviously, because of the money he makes from Spotify, but like a bunch of the other podcasts, if they won't play song snippets if they're trying to put that episode on YouTube, because it'll pick it up and demonetize it. And those people have like sound engineers, they're renting a studio, they're doing all this other stuff. This is literally just me and Steve. There's no sound engineers, there's no studio rentals.
Yeah, there's none of that. It's legitimately me and my podcast room I built, John and his podcast room he built with his wife Ronnie, and the shit we bought off of Amazon. And John made a phone box that works really well that I need to make for myself. But
I did learn. I found out on the last episode that it did cut out a lot of the echo. I did change the sound, the auto volume controls, because I felt like they were messing me up a little bit. But so far, this thing is working well. It's not falling apart yet. It's the exact size of my mic. It's a little bit taller. That way the sound can get in there, but it's width-wise the same exact size.
So, I mean, it's a learning process for us. Obviously, I don't know. I think we've had more interaction off of like the history stuff than we have off of you and I bantering. So we're gonna go that route. And I mean, obviously, most people look at history as it's boring. John and I do our best not to make it boring because, well, we're not boring fucking people. So obviously you're gonna hear us cuss. You're gonna hear us give our opinions on whatever the hell they do. So we're gonna make history fun. We'll say it that way. Other than that, like I said, we do have the YouTube, and that the YouTube is all the editing is done by me. I do the editing on that. John's working on cartoon stuff for us to use.
Well, we're gonna try to do the logo in a cartoon thing because there's a couple examples that are really cool looking. I've been writing down name suggestions and stuff, but we just got to get together and nail one down. I mean, if anybody in the comments would have a suggestion, we listen to those too. Obviously, we read all the comments and stuff.
Yes.
The whole key to this is us trying to get more interactions with everybody.
Yeah, because like we all have those podcasts where you want to interact with them, like they're asking questions, but you're not. You might be episodes behind. Fine. If you're listening to the first or second episode and you want to know something, shoot us a question. Like I said, we listen to what we post out for you guys to listen to. So shoot us a question about it. We'll gladly answer it. I mean, that's ultimately the goal, is to get more interaction with you guys. Like I said, John's working on the cartoons, which I'll use in turn for our YouTube videos. Like if you watch them, you'll see the No Safe Space Spotify thing there for whenever him and I are talking back and forth. I'll use the cartoons for that. Like I'm trying to get different stuff here for DaVinci Resolve. So if you guys have tips or tricks on that, shoot.
I downloaded that. We got that Apple one too now. The YouTube guys, if you search No Safe Space, it doesn't come up.
No, you have to put the -FAFO.
Yeah. So, because I mean, right now there's
hundreds of them.
Yeah, there's dozens of them. I mean, right now we're not doing terrible. There's 4 episodes on there right now. The 30-minute episodes. One is about an hour. It's about the Albert Fish one, but some of you guys seem to like those video edits more. They're doing pretty good. I mean, it's only been a month of the YouTube, and I feel like the YouTube is going to do good. I mean, we do have a Twitter page too. It's No Safe Space Podcast Studios. It's on Twitter. Working on that one. That's something that I'm working on. Steve's doing the YouTube stuff. Who does the Facebook?
We don't have a Facebook.
Well, that's a problem.
I do the Patreon, the YouTube, and the Instagram. And obviously you do the StreamYard stuff here, the Twitter, and it was either going to be the TikTok or the Facebook.
Well, now that TikTok stayed, we can...
and that's only if you have it on your phone. Otherwise, you got to get a different VPN and all that other stupid shit.
That's still not changed yet?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, I still see people trying to sell it on the yard sale sites for like $12,000 fucking iPhone. And I'm like, it's not Flappy Bird. It's not going to fucking work that way.
I'll be right back. I'm going to eBay. I'm about to sell. I got 3 iPhones in the house right now with that shit on there.
Yeah, bro, I'm not shitting you. Like, there's one person put it in the yard sale site for like $22,000, and I'm like, you're out of your fucking head.
Do you know how many people rage deleted the app when it wouldn't work, and now that it's back, they're like crack fiending, not realizing that it not being there is probably not the worst thing that happened to them,
right?
Because I mean, I don't really care, China stealing our data, but people getting rid of it. Hopefully, a lot of people that they were following their favorite influencers realized that most of them did a big video and told you how pretty much everything they did for those videos and those views were fake. A lot of them even told you that they lied about the follow trains and the educational shit. A lot of them told you that they were just they would tell you they were taking all your money for like a charity, and then they would just keep it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's like a lot of people. They said they were like, this came out during COVID, and this is how we made our living during COVID, and this and that. And I'm like, it's with anything. Like, if at the end of the day, like if all you have is some social app, you're fucked in life.
Yeah, I feel like
you have to have some skill, some kind of skill.
I say it all the time, but like the people in trades that are retiring out that you talk to, they're all concerned that McNeil just called me. I told him I was on the podcast. He was like, "Fuck that, tag me in, coach." But I tell a lot of the old people will tell you that you have to there has to be some people that still go into trades. I mean, you have to understand the people that are like journeyman plumbing, they're making like $140K a year.
Yeah.
Anything journeyman wise, you're pretty high up there. I was just a little bit off of 100K this year. And yeah, I mean, I just work on equipment. So like the trades have to stay alive.
Dude, I work on trailers, and I made just over 56, I think. But like
don't listen to these bitches that are on. My bad, I don't know these hoes. But don't listen to these girls on the internet. They're like, oh, if you don't make at least $20K a month, you can't date me. Nobody wants that shit. You got enough DNA on your teeth to change your ancestry.com results, and you think I give a fuck about your opinion?
This is true.
No.
This is true. I mean, take it from like John's married, happily married. Obviously, I'm happily divorced, I guess. But like, I mean, it's take it from me. Like I'm in the dating pool. I see what's there. And like some of these women, like you are drop dead gorgeous. You absolutely are. But at the end of the day, your personality is my fucking Coke can I have sitting here has more fucking personality than you do.
I'd take a 99 Honda Civic over all these hoes.
Yeah, like it's some of y'all are on the more pathetic side of life. Like, one, learn to fucking talk. You all bitch about men or you can't hold a conversation. Some of you women cannot hold a conversation to save your motherfucking lives. And
I do enjoy trolling people. Although recently all of my TikTok videos have to get submitted to TikTok and then they have to get approved and then they'll post.
You've been a bad boy.
And a lot of my videos don't get approved by TikTok, and even some of the questionable ones that may get approved.
They've slowed down tenfold, dude. I used to count on being able to heart like 3 of yours a day.
Well, yeah, like now that I get them submitted, and if they just squeak through, like maybe 10 people see it. But if I make something that's all butterflies and rainbows and doesn't hurt any of like the blue hair people's feelings, it's 100, 400K, million. I've got a couple of them that are 1 million that didn't hurt anybody's feelings. But I mean, I don't really care about that. Fuck your feelings. They're your feelings. They're not mine.
Yeah, that's the other thing that fucking gets me. Like, bro, I'm on these goddamn sites, right? And I come across people and I'm like, you wear that out in public? Have some fucking self-respect. Like, for fuck's sake, I get being comfy. I understand it 100%. I'm in sweatpants and a fucking shirt. Like, I get being comfy. But for fuck's sake, if I'm like,
sweatpants and a shirt. There's too many people that think like they should dress like Kanye West's girlfriend, or is it his wife or whatever? That was just that what the fuck was that? The CMAs? Not the CMAs, the Grammys or whatever, where she was wearing like a fishnet with nothing under it.
My buddy at work today commented, he was like, did you see that? And I looked down and I'm like, it's Kanye West's girlfriend or fiance, whatever she is. Like, it's like all you need to say is Kanye West, and whatever sense of normality you may have goes out the fucking window. Like, this is the same man that legitimately was on TV next to fucking Mike Myers and was, George Bush does not care about black people. The same fucking man, okay? This is the same man that went off on Taylor fucking Swift because she won over Beyonce. Any normality that comes out of, like, I will, anytime
he also openly on Joe, I'm cutting you off.
Cut me off.
He openly on Joe Rogan said that he's secretly saving enough money to buy the entire planet. He was like, how much do you think the world costs, Joe? And Joe Rogan's just like, I don't know. He's like, I'm gonna buy the world. Bro,
yeah,
start with the bank.
This is the same dude that was on Ellen DeGeneres, and she was like, do you regret anything you may have tweeted? No. He was like, because anytime I come across a fucking Kanye like meme reel of him saying some off the wall shit, I will sit there and I will watch it on repeat for like a good 5-6 times because I laugh my ass off every single time. Like when he went off on fucking Gaga for her being the executive director or whatever of Polaroid, that I lost my shit on that. He was like, and Gaga, what the fuck does she know about pictures? I like some of Gaga's shit, but here she is, the CEO of Polaroid. What the fuck did you know about pictures?
I didn't know that. I will also say that if you happen to follow me personally on Twitter, the stuff that I post is not going to be the same stuff that's on the podcast page. I troll people. Okay. Don't, if you come across my regular Twitter, I mean, I'm trolling everybody from political figures to Lieutenant Dan from fucking Florida. Don't pay me no mind. I'm a different person on Twitter.
John has yet to follow me on Twitter. Okay, I will put it that way. I even sent him my shit, and he has yet to follow me on Twitter. So
I am an asshole on Twitter. I'm an absolute asshole. People You got the Clintons asking for, she's got COVID or something. She's asking for movie recommendations. I'm like, hey, Benghazi's a great movie. The 13 hours. I'm naming all the movies that were produced about her fuck up and those email deletes. And then my shit gets reported. So, I got to be careful. But maybe I shouldn't target Clinton so much. I talk a lot of shit on Twitter. But I can't be any worse than your favorite fucking blue hair liberal. So.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. But yeah, that's overall, guys. That's the way we're taking the show. We're gonna head into the history stuff. Obviously, like I said, the rants and stuff. John and I can really go into some fucking rants. That's definite. That is something we can definitely do. So that'll be on the Patreon where we're kind of free to express ourselves the way we want to. So yeah, if you guys are down to that, like John and I said, it'll be like $5 a month, and we're gonna do our best to get an episode a week out on that as well. So yeah, that's.
And if you're like a lot of people that wait until there's a back catalog of Patreon episodes, I'm not mad about that. Because if I subscribe to a Patreon, if they don't have at least 10, 15 episodes, for me to feel like that fucking $15 I just gave them is, sufficient, they got to have at least 10 or 15 episodes. They got to. I mean, otherwise I'm going to wait because there's too many podcasts out there. Technically this is our 24th episode, but we didn't count like the first two. So we've been doing this for 6 months now. $26 weeks. This would technically, because they're all in the computer, this would technically be number 26.
Yeah. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think, I will say like the first two, I don't think we posted because we had some sound issues.
Severe technical difficulties.
Yeah. Like at first I had sound issues. Steve had echo issues. He was building that room and then he got the new laptop. There was one episode we filmed a whole like hour episode, and at like minute 41, the internet just stopped working.
Yeah. So what's crazy is I got that new laptop and I don't even use it for the podcasting.
So didn't you get this is your old laptop? So
I got this laptop wiped. So like this laptop does all my editing for the YouTube stuff, for our YouTube plus my son's YouTube stuff. It does all that, like all the pictures that I use for the YouTube. It does it. This computer's that.
So what are you doing with the new laptop? Nothing.
That does like my Twitch and different research, and like that's what I do all my research on. So like when I'm sitting there and I'm researching the stuff like on Johnny Ringo, I use my other laptop for that. This one stays in my podcast room, which hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, I plan on getting a new TV mount this week or next week. And I'm going to hang the TV that I have in here. That way I can get up on the streams. And in all reality, when we do these episodes, when we do like Patreon episodes, we can actually stream that on Twitch. So we can get that going as well if we want to. But yeah, like there's definitely a lot of work in progress we have to do yet. So obviously, guys, please give us your feedback. Let us know what you guys are thinking. Any suggestions, compliments, complaints. We're here to take it all. Like I can handle constructive criticism as long as you're real with it and not just lying to me about it. Yeah. So I mean that's where we're heading. Other than that, I think I'm good. John, you got anything else you want to add, man?
Steve and his son's YouTube is at 16 followers, and they have about 100 views. So if you get the time, you should go check that out.
Yes.
It does say you have 3. If you look at it like I do, I get the notification, the bell thing. It will say you have 3 videos. One of them is a short, like a reel. So click over to that, and then obviously go check out the podcast. YouTube, and what was it? If you were on Twitter, you can find us on Twitter also. I will follow you back on Twitter.
I was gonna say, what's the handle for that? Because I'll follow that now.
That is No Safe Space Pod, and that account it's set up. I'm debating on doing the checkmark thing for it because you get a lot of bonus publicity for the checkmark on Twitter. Like Ronnie does the it didn't count for both, but like our Instagram page for our hiking stuff is like meta verified or whatever, and it unlocked a bunch of little perks and stuff for her. That's why she has that blue check mark. There's one on Twitter. You do have to pay for the one on Twitter, but supposedly, if you pay for the Twitter version, your account will never be hacked. Supposedly, I don't know if that's true, and you get bumps and like the For You page suggestion type stuff. Huh. That's one of the reasons I don't do it for my personal Twitter, because I don't need that being bumped.
I say you and I can talk about that. We can probably split that and make that happen for the Twitter, because I'm gonna probably look into it for the Instagram now. But
like I've got like 10 tweets that say Jake Paul should fight Joe Biden next. The other one was men twerk when they do missionary stuff. It's like crazy because one time I heard my own ass clap. I had to stop for a minute and be like, "Damn, we both thick." So I say stuff on Twitter that I probably shouldn't say. You can also call me out on Twitter because other people do. And one of the ones I was like, when Mike Tyson destroys Jake Paul, when he destroys Jake Paul, it'll be awesome. And obviously that didn't happen. You can call me out on that. But just be prepared. I'm gonna talk shit back. So.
Oh my God. Other than that, guys, please like, share, comment, rate us, give us that 5-star review if you think we're worth it.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And in all reality, share the shit out of everything. Like that's the biggest thing, is getting us out there. And obviously, the more we get out there, the more fun shit we can do, the more tips and hints and tricks people give us. Like that's the big thing, is just breaking outside the small radius
area. Yeah, like the breaking like the first and second podcast barrier is like hitting the correct number of followers. I don't care so much that we don't hit their stream requirements every month, because I don't care about that. It'd be great if we did, because then we could add commercials to this, but do you really want to listen to podcasts with commercials? I mean, I don't. So if you listen to it on the YouTube and stuff and you can run AdSense on there, then that'll be how we pay for everything we do.
Yeah.
Because I hate when a podcast, and just so you know, if you're listening to your favorite podcast, if you just hit it to where you can do Spotify inserts commercials, they don't listen to the podcast to see where they're inserting the commercial. It could be in the middle of what you're saying. You'll be like, oh, this week we found out that the frogs are turning gay because of the water. And then in the middle of that, you'll get an ad for Staples.
Yeah, it happened to me this week. They were talking about, I listened to the Sit Down with Jeff Nadeau, and he was talking about one of the gangsters. I believe it was, forget what it was, but like he was talking about a killing that he did. And he was like, yeah, he just walked up and and it cut right into a commercial. And then at the end of the commercial, like you just heard, "Illed this man in cold blood." And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh, okay. It didn't even wait till he was done with the word. It just cut him off mid-word. and went. So I mean, that's another one. And like, obviously, if you guys are into the mafia stuff, listen to the Sit Down podcast, or the Sit Down, a Mafia History podcast with Jeff Nadeau. Fucking amazing. Like, the man knows his shit. He gets great interviews with a lot of people. Like, amazing. I mean, same goes with the Underworld podcast. I listen to that. That's another great fucking podcast to listen to if you're into that realm of stuff. I am. John listens to Kill You in Your Sleep and I'll Find You in the Woods. You know, the creepy shit.
Chris Oxon, you should know. And if you get a chance and you have an extra 2 hours, I think, the Theo Von and Cat Williams episode's out, and it's hilarious. You can tell, like,
oh my god, dude!
Have you listened to it?
I see the reels on Facebook of it, and like, one, Cat Williams is completely fucking ripped. Like, the man's smoking during the fucking podcast. Like, he's but like, just even the latest Cat Williams stand-up. I've always been a big fan of Cat Williams. Like, when he does his just straight stand-up, I fucking love it. Like, when he did Pimpin', I think it was Pimpin' Across America, the second one.
Yeah.
Pimp Chronicles Part 2. Dude, that was the first time I'd ever smoked weed. And like, I had never laughed so fucking hard in my life. Like, dude, I was completely fucking wrecked. And that's the movie that, like, that's what we put on. I had never laughed so fucking hard in my life. I will remember it to the day I drop. Like, when he comes out and he's just doing his every day I'm hustling, and I lost my shit. Because at the time I worked in a restaurant. So like, when he's back there flipping the fucking burgers like he's at McDonald's, like, I'm losing my shit. Because I'm like, dude, I don't work at McDonald's, but that's me. I have my headphones in. I'm listening to the fucking gangster shit while I'm making burgers.
He did say some stuff that made you think maybe he is going a little bit off the deep end. Well, everybody knows he's going
how many
off
times
the deep
for
end.
crack?
Huh?
He went to jail how many times for smoking crack, dude?
Well, all right. So, not that he's going off the deep end. He might already be there. He says that he's promised he will never. He was promised that he will never die, and I'm a little confused on what that means. But I mean, I could guess. But
look, crackheads say some weird shit. Okay.
He has a fucking ranch, and he only owns black ducks.
I can't explain what he does.
Me neither. All right, everybody.
Like, I can look when a crackhead walks up to you and like you're trying to, and they're talking to you, right? Because they're sober at the moment, and they're like, "Oh yeah, crack's not addicting."
Yes, it is.
And you're like, "Give me the reasoning behind that." Well, I can quit it anytime I want. Okay, why are you still doing it? Well, I just, it makes me feel good in the morning. That's because you're going through withdrawal.
But you ain't been asleep. You don't know it's morning.
Yeah, like, because you're going through withdrawal. That's why it makes you feel good when you smoke it. I'm like, yeah, there's no arguing it. Like, crack is very addictive. It is one of the like, next to heroin, it's like the most addictive fucking drug. Like, no, you're not going to argue this point with me.
They claim that cigarettes is the number one most addicting drug. Well, nicotine. I mean, it's fair. It's fair.
Yeah, as I sit here and puff on my vape, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that never used nicotine and just went straight to like heroin, but I don't know.
Dude, I've seen people that like my buddy at work, for example, he'll just like out of nowhere be like, "Yeah, I need a cigarette." And I'm like, "What?" "Yeah, I need a cigarette." Okay, and I'll give him a cigarette. Like, he doesn't smoke at all. So like when I had a pack of cigarettes that I kept at work just for stressful days, but like he'll have my vape and he'll like, I'd be like, "Can I hit your vape?" Yeah. And he'll rip on my vape and then he'll just like, "All right, cool." And then he'll go back to work and I'm like, dude, I vape and get nicotine on the regular, but if I go smoke a fucking Newport, I'm laying on the ground staring at this fucking world swirling because I'm nicotine so hard. Like, props to you, man, for doing that.
Well, everybody, this will be the end of this back and forth episode, the banter episode.
Don't get us wrong. We'll do it from time to time, but it's not. We're not going to do the banter all the time.
And let us know if you have any more suggestions for name changes, or if you are a logo designer.
Yes.
I'm not saying I'm going to pay you a bunch of money, but if we like it, I'd probably pay you for it.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, everybody have a good week. We'll see you guys next Monday.
Into season 1 of No Safe Space, and we'll be back with the newest updates of everything. Till then, peace.
Later, everybody.